Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Where is the Love podcast, rebuilding the Black family structure. I'm your host, Salahudin Nemley, and this show is produced by myself and the people at the iRant Network. And today we are going to be talking about homophobia in the Black community. We're going to try to bridge that gap, but also get into the psyche of where it comes from, why is it still here, and how can we change it from what it is today? Because already this year, there's been about 18 murders of transgender people and other crimes against, Black LGBT community members. So I got my people here. I got Christiana, I have Teresa, I got Francis, and my brother Hassan with me, and of course Will and Nay representing. So, Francis, you want to get into this?
Please start with me though. That's fine. I don't mind starting. Do I need an introduction or anything like that?
What is that?
Do you need me to introduce myself or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Hi, my name is Francis. I am a super proud, blackity black, super queer STEM educator living in Michigan, hailing from Queens, New York. You know, Queens get the money. Just moved here recently, so still a New York girl through and through. So I decided to join the podcast today because I think that there's a lot of conversation to be had around homophobia and transphobia in the Black community. But I don't want to make it seem like it's just a Black thing. It's a pervasive issue. It's everywhere. But since
you cut out,
audience is Black folks,
you cut out. Say that last part
sorry
again.
about that. Did everybody hear? Can say it again?
Yeah.
So I said, since our audience is Black folks, let's go ahead and tackle it in our own community first, and worry about the rest later, right?
Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to talk about this because I've always saw, since I was a little kid, and I'm not gonna lie, growing up, I've been a part of like some jokes and stuff like that too. Growing up in the Black community, like, you gay, son. What? That's gay. Hey, yo, da 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 da. But I've never let that grow into hatred to the point where I wanted to harm someone, or what I'm saying, just try to beat somebody up or even murder them just because they live a different lifestyle than me. And I feel like we need to talk about this for the simple fact that no matter what you are and what you claim to be as far as your sexual preference and your lifestyle choice, you are Black first. You get what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So I'm not going to treat you any different just because you believe in something else. I see you just like I see myself as a Black man or woman. It's just that you have a certain lifestyle than me. Of course, the same thing goes for my Latinos in the building. You feel me? It's the same thing in Hispanics. It's the same thing for me. So why do you think there's such a big issue? Let's go with Christiana.
Personally, I've had to deal with strong religion in the family. So it's more so this is what should go on, this is what happened, and the person I am with now, her family is very religious. I've been friends with her prior to us dating, like 3 years prior. Her family loved me at the time until I started dating her, and I was the worst person in the world. I brought the devil into the house. It was time to pray for her. Her mother used to cry. Why did I do this? I didn't do anything. This is your child. This is who she was from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily now the relationship is starting to get better. But the whole time it was the Bible being thrown at me. Read this, do that. That's what it comes down to, in from what I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can be a real. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then when it comes down to in my family, it's like mixed. Like on my dad's side of the family, it's very accepted and very welcoming. On my mom's side of the family, not so much. We have multiple gay members in our family, and actually more so the male who are being shunned away. So they don't usually come around just because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be talked about. So it's sad.
Okay, and you know what? That speaks a lot because I was talking to Teresa prior to this, and she got a lot to say. And what she was telling me, she was like, it's crazy how within the gay community, y'all even still have those types of things going on within your own community with one another because it's accepted all around when it's a woman, but when
That's
it's
a
a
fact.
man, it's like ugh.
I have tons
So
of
I'm
thoughts
like,
on
wow.
that when you get back to me.
Well, that's not the only thing. Not only that it's more accepted when it's female more than male, but the B in the LGBTQ community is not really that welcome. The bisexual part is usually it's a phase. You guys are confused. You have to choose.
Yes.
And that's why I stay quiet. I am part of the B part of the LGBT community, and I rather not say because I don't want to be judged, especially by a person I'm
Yeah.
dating. Because usually when you date a full lesbian woman, it's now I have to compete with a man. I don't like that. That's really not the case.
Yeah,
That's
bi
wild.
erasure is a big thing in the LGBTQ community. Bi erasure is such a thing.
Wow. See, and
It's
this is
like
why I want y'all here because y'all need to educate us. Go ahead, T.
it's like when we say bi, and the first thing a lot of people think about, the first thing they think about is a female that likes males and females. There can be bi men, there can be bi transgender women, and bi transgender men. You can be
Yeah.
bi anyway. There are
And
a such thing as bisexual men.
but also bi now the current kind of definition of it is bisexual is two plus genders. So it can just be two, it can be more than two, but that's kind of what bi has evolved into over the last couple of years in the queer community.
Mm.
See, that's a lot
And
with the
remember,
LGBTQ plus ABCD LMLP. That's a lot trying to remember that type of stuff. So we try to break it down to the basics because a lot of people who the heterosexual community don't understand the basics. So we got to give them they haven't swallowed the basics yet. So we're still kind of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start adding more stuff to it, this is what it's broken down to. And when we got to break it down to this, I know it's hard for them to understand. And it's hard to I'm not saying we're forcing it, but this is who we are. We're out in the street. I'm not changing who I am. I'm here. You're gonna call me
I'm
what I
queer,
said,
I'm
call
here.
me. You're gonna call me what I said, call me, and you're gonna respect me and my
Nah,
spouse if we're in the street. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
nah, that's a fact. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's things I don't understand about it, but I also understand that you know what, not everything is for me to understand. You know what I mean? Like for instance, and this is gonna sound I'm at the what's the words I'm looking for? At the risk of sounding ignorant, like I think I had this conversation with you too, T, when we was at work together on the L3. I was like, what does it mean, like, if a woman say, all right, I'm a lesbian, right? I like women, whatever, but then she's dating a AG, and then the AG goes to a transgender person, and then becomes a man. What does that mean now? Is it still, you get what I mean? Because now this person is saying that they're a man. Does that still make her a lesbian? I know this is like real basic and real like minute, but it's just something that I was confused about, and I don't really have to understand it. But I just wanted to, want y'all to break that down for me because that's a real question.
All right.
So
If that's
understanding,
someone in the go ahead, Francis.
so let's be very clear that sexuality and gender representation aren't exactly linked all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
just know that I'm gonna just be really clear with you. The basis of queer politics really is just mind your damn business.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is, however I define myself as my business, And if you want to know, that's on you. And if you don't want to know, then that's fine too. But I just know that people who are queer, we just usually just mind our own business and move how we want to move, you know?
All right.
Okay.
For that, Salah, it depends on what they're doing within their relationship. If the person who turns trans, who goes through the full transition, and this person becomes a he, this person is expecting a heterosexual relationship out of the thing. If the femme that comes into the relationship was expecting um a lesbian relationship, a masculine feminine relationship situation, she still would consider herself lesbian, but being that her spouse, if she loves her spouse, she knows that she would be in a heterosexual relationship. That's how they would see each other. It's just an agreement between the two. Hell, if
Right.
we wouldn't dig that deep into someone who is married heterosexually and say, well, your wife says she like to hang you up by your toes. How does that work for you? Are you some type of toe freaks? Like, we wouldn't dig into somebody else's situation like how we
Right.
dig into our own relationships. I have yet to dig into a marriage myself, into somebody else's business like that. That's kind of what they have going on. Like, I've seen studs pregnant, and people don't understand how much it costs for a stud to get pregnant. People automatically just go, oh, she got some D somewhere. No, she probably paid that $15,000 that me and my girl found out how much it costs to get in vitro. But because people so angry and go, oh, y'all doing this and doing that and doing this, they're making fun of it as if this is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make fun of jokes when your wife can't get pregnant and you couldn't pump it up hard enough to do to get your little swimmers running up to the egg. You ain't get your swimmers running up to the egg. So we over here getting, I think, like, people need to really learn that this is a big earth. You ain't on this bad boy by yourself. You
Right.
got this person who is completely different from you, and this person who is completely different from you. Their way of doing something is not your way, and that's okay. We got to learn how to respect everybody.
Yeah, that's a
That's
fact.
it. That's it. But
That's
go ahead.
you all right, T? I see you. You going? You going?
No. I had to make sure was coming in. Some things was coming in. I get some emails and all that from
Oh,
this little waist trainer thing. But go ahead.
oh, and just in case y'all don't know, T has a business called Train to Be Snatched, and she sells pretty much waist trainers. She sells
Waist
waist
trainers,
trainers.
corsets, and I'm starting on my own bra line. I designed one. I'll have bras coming soon. Just working on it, y'all. Working on it. Give me some time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's go to some questions real quick that I have people send to me. One question I was asked was, why is being gay considered the thing that's destroying the black family? Does anybody want to weigh in? Everybody's like,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know, because only the people that
I mean,
say that would know.
Mm.
I don't know how it's destroying the black family.
Well,
My kids is growing up happy, healthy, going to
right.
school, being good kids. They not out here bugging out. So what destroyed? I want to know what. I don't understand.
So the answer
facts,
is
I
it's
also want
not.
to know.
Oh, Nate coming in.
The answer is it's not. People who are saying that are coming from the thought process of it takes a man and a woman to have a child. But
Mm-hmm.
like I'm sorry, I'm only half. I think that was what you said her name was said. There's so many other different options nowadays to have a baby. So these people are basically trying to find an excuse to say that homosexuality is wrong. And for those of us who are pro-black family, well, if you don't have a man and a woman, then you can't procreate, then you can't create a black family. And that's the connection that they're trying to make. So really, you just have to tell them to shut up and keep going on about your day.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen so many people get up in arms, and I was confused about that too. It's like, how are they as a community destroying the black family? There's like other things going on that's destroying the black family, but that's not one of them. And that's for the simple fact that if it's two black people in love, that's a family structure starting right there. You know what I mean? So now if they decide to go on and adopt if they, you know what I mean, can't do what T was saying, in vitro and everything like that. If they decide to adopt and then they want to adopt an Asian baby or, you know, a white baby, then that's something different. And then it's just like, yo, that's still them doing whatever the heck they want inside of their own relationship. So we can't really claim that Black LGBT people are destroying the Black family. When, in all honesty, it's like when they get together, I can only assume, but it's like when you have a commonality in something, like, for instance, they know what it's like to be looked at funny. They know what it's like to be harassed on the street, and they find sanctuary within each other. And that's why, you know, they love different, because it's like, yo, I know exactly what you go through every time you leave the house. They scared when they spouses leave, just like we are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why is that considered a thing? I think a lot of people will be on some weird hangups about that stuff, and it's just like, you got to relax, bro.
Yo, I'm just gonna say this. When it comes to just the optics of it all, it is different than what we were raised on. So I just think it's a matter of getting used to it. It's fairly new, you know, in the acceptance of it all. So you're still gonna have these hangups until it becomes like more ingrained into the fabric of our culture. When I look at, you know, couples of the same sex, I don't feel the way because I have those people in my family. But I can imagine if I didn't, I would probably look at it the same way white people look at, you know, interracial marriages. It's a little strange to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, what's this about? This is different. So as long as it's different and you're not used to it, you're always going to look at it like it can be an endangerment to what your traditional values are. I don't know if it's being homosexual is right or wrong. You know, I don't have a position on it. I'm not going to tell you it's wrong, but I damn sure ain't going to tell you it's right. I know it ain't right for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have an attraction like that. My attraction ain't wired that way. So I think what people need to do is kind of like take a step back and really try to get a little better educated about it. That's the only thing I could recommend. But you can't say because someone doesn't like your lifestyle that they're wrong. No, they have reasons for not liking your lifestyle.
Okay. Anybody want to say something? I see the eyes.
I have a hard time with the whole whether it's right or wrong thing. Like, I have a really hard time with that, just because I feel like whatever I choose to do for myself is right. If I'm not hurting anybody else, it may not be for you, but I can't say that it's not right. You said it's not right, but it's not wrong. But I think if it has nothing to do with you, then it has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It's right for me. It's right for a lot of people.
I mean, that's if you was living on a planet by yourself, maybe, but you know, I don't think that, you know, you could really take a position that if it's right for me, it's right for me. You know, some people feel like that's an endangerment to the species. Some people feel like that's an endangerment to the culture. You don't have to validate their position, but you can't say that they don't have a valid stance.
What is the stance? It's a danger. What do you mean endangerment to the species? How? I don't get that part. I just want to know. Like, that's the only way we can kind of figure it out. What's endangering the species?
Will got something to say. Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? We good? All right, bet. All right. So most of the people, first off, let me put it like this. One of my closest friends, ever since we was little, because I'm gonna put his name out there. His name is Dante. I knew he was gay before he knew he was gay. So I'm talking about elementary school, like, and we've been like mad close. So I feel like growing up around and knowing people who are gay and in the LGBTQ community makes it easier for you to understand what's going on. But I feel like a lot of people don't. But from the flip side, with this whole right or wrong thing and the species thing, most people are referring to procreation. That's it, literally. And a lot of people feel like that you are limiting the potential of procreation and advancement of the Black community when you are not, or just the community, whatever community you're involved in general, when you are not a man and a woman creating child and being fruitful. Now, whether it's tied to religion, in other cases, it could be. but that's literally the meat of the argument and what the issue is in terms of that. That's literally it. It's not really anything else other than if you want to tie into a lot of people feel, because it still comes back to that, the effemination of Black men and making Black women more masculine, etc. Like that's how they then navigate that and say that breaks down the tie between Black men and Black women in terms of procreation and then building the community, etc. Just adding the insight from the other side, knowing what people are actually referring to. Whether I feel that way, no, I don't care. Honestly, be with who you want to be with. I don't care what anybody does at all, because it ain't my business. As long as whatever anybody is doing doesn't hinder how we're advancing as a community, I could give two shits about what anybody does in their personal life. That's their business.
We got a comment from the live on Facebook. It's from Kenti Amenti Ma'at. I hope I said that right. It says, live your life. An LGBT member can't get upset with straight folk when there's constant infighting and disagreements going on, like the erasure of bi folk. Yes and no, because if that's the case, you can't say we can't get mad at people being racist when we're fighting amongst ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much what that speaks to. Granted, they got their own thing going on, but overtly, they not dying from it, or they not beefing because strictly off the strength that you're gay or whatever. And yes, they have the erasure of the bi community. That's something totally different. But that's like saying, for us, yeah, we have black on black crime and we fight amongst ourselves, but we're not killing anybody just for the simple fact that they black. It's like legit beefs going on and other things that that other people outside the culture may not understand. You get what I'm saying? And just from being around my LGBTQ friends, I understand how their politics is way different from us, even down to like attraction. Like I remember I was we was doing photo shoots with Egypt and all of that. And it was like, and it was Egypt and Scott talking about this dude that wanted to date Scott, and Scott was like, oh nah, I don't want to date him because he's fat or whatever. And I saw the picture of dude, and dude was not fat. I'm like, this dude is not fat. What are you talking about? He was like, oh no, you looking from a straight standpoint. To us, he's fat. I was like, all right, I guess I just gotta fall back on that one. And it just goes like, yo, you can't really, you know what I mean, get into it. I feel like as a straight person, there's certain things that I can't really comment on when it comes to LGBT, because I'm not in that to be talking about that. You can't speak on gang activity if you're not living that lifestyle. Not to say it's like a gang, but just, you know what I mean? Just certain politics. Will, go ahead.
I have a quick question, and this is for the community because I'm not in it, but I've always wondered this. And I asked some of my friends who are in the community, but I always like to get as many perspectives as possible. Like Salah just said, like we're not in that community, so we can't necessarily speak on it, right? But do you feel that from your perspective, being in that community, you can then speak on our community? Like in reverse? Like, or is that not a thing? I'm just curious. I don't know how that works from the outside.
Me as an individual, I don't speak upon what happens in a heterosexual relationship because that dynamic I don't live. Within my community, I hate to see how discriminatory they are to trans folks and bi folks. I hate that. And also bisexual studs, anything masculine that's bisexual, they really come for. I don't know what it's like to be in a heterosexual relationship. Truthfully, I don't know how that dynamic works. I tried it didn't work. It was time to move on. So we don't really mix. Well, I can't mix in that stuff. I don't know about the other ladies in the group. I can't mix in that.
Christiana, you got something to say?
No, I definitely don't have anything to say about a heterosexual relationship. I let people do what they want to do. I've more than enough heterosexual friends, and I let their relationship be. You want to vent to me, I'm going to talk to you as a person. I'm going to speak to you on your issue as a person, not as this is a straight relationship where you have to handle it this way. That's not how I approach things at all.
I mean, to be honest,
Yeah, that's the
it
same for
sounds
me.
like
I don't have any thoughts about a heterosexual relationship.
I feel like when it comes to
Sorry,
relationships,
what I was saying was I was in a heterosexual.
no. Go ahead, Francis. It's like a delay. Go ahead. What I was about to say is just like when it comes to relationships, I don't know, because it's like you don't have. I feel like people are people at the end of the day, so you can't really say, "Oh, nah, that's a gay relationship" or "That's a straight relationship." If a person's being an a-hole, then that's just what they're being. Period. If they're a cheater, then that's just what they're doing. If they're trying to play you, that's what they're doing. It has nothing to do with gay or straight. People are people. Man.
Let me just throw this out there. You need to tell Black to spit at.
Francis, you froze.
Francis looked like she about to drop the hottest 16 of 2020.
I'm sorry, my internet is bad. We have like 3 people streaming at the same time at my house. I'm struggling right now. What I was saying was that I was in a heterosexual relationship for a very long time. And I have thoughts because I was with a man for a long time. But I don't really express them because it has nothing to do with me at this point.
Okay. I can accept.
I have a question. I have a specific question for Francis. As not being heterosexual, you can still have a relationship with a heterosexual person, right? What do you consider that relationship? Because I am completely ignorant to what that would be considered.
Wait, say that again, Will?
Okay.
So if Francis does not consider herself heterosexual, right? But she's bi, correct? So she can date somebody who considers themselves heterosexual, right? So what would that relationship be considered is what I'm asking. I don't know. Or is there no label?
So the relationship is based on the gender of the 2 people who are in it. I consider myself a woman. The person who I was with considered themselves a man. We consider our relationship heterosexual.
Okay.
Okay. Hold. What's this considering a woman? Considering, are you a man or are you a woman? Like, I don't think it's really any gray area with that. You a man or you a woman? Why do you say considering yourself a woman, considering yourself a man?
I knew that was going to happen, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. So gender and sex are 2 different things. So you can be born, gender and sex are 2 different things. Sex is a biological thing only. Gender is your own expression. So whatever you want to consider yourself as.
Who said that? When did that happen?
It's been happening this whole time, friend. I don't know where you've been at.
I've been on the same planet you've been on. When that happened?
Well, that's just been that. Honestly, that's what's been coming up more and more, probably within the last couple years.
Right. So it's new.
Well, right? No, that's a thing that's been happening since the early 60s, by the way. It's a very old concept.
So it's new. So it's new.
No,
because the 60s.
I don't think it's
also.
I don't think it's new. I just think it's more vocal now.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's just more vocal. It's not new. It's not brand new. It's always been here. How you feel is how you feel.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, so to be totally frank with you, as somebody who does tons of research into gender discourse, this has been a thing for a long time. And in fact, in a lot of our communities, like ancestrally, there were way more genders than just men and women. That's a white supremacist construct, by the way. So that's what we all kind of adopt now. But it's a thing that people have been living for a long time. But yeah, it is just more prevalent now, but it's been a thing for a long time.
Okay, so that's the confusion. So
No, there wasn't no confusion. Listen, I just talking to my lesbian cousin just now, and she said her sex is woman and her gender is woman. So I think that's just a matter of how some people might view it, but some people, other people, but I think most people still view it the way it's supposed to. Sex, there ain't no real difference between sex and gender. You're a man, you're a man. You're a woman, you're a woman. My lesbian cousin, full on stud, just said that she's a woman. That's her sex, that's her gender. So everybody don't agree with what you're saying.
You know how black people do white people things all the time. You know what you just sounded like? I got a black friend over here who just said, like,
I'm just saying, like, don't attack what I'm
though.
saying. Address what I'm saying. Address what I just spoke with a member. I just spoke with a member of your community who said they don't agree with what you're saying.
Okay.
Go ahead. Explain yourself. Explain yourself. Because I just asked a lie. I said, I asked everybody, is this something new? No, it's not something new. Since the 60s. That's fucking new, because when you look at civilization been around for thousands of years. So it's brand new. And I just started hearing about it probably like a year or two ago, you know, and Malik Yoba got caught up on the Breakfast Club about the shit. Okay. And I'm just like, what the fuck is just cisgender bullshit? Like, come on, cut that bullshit out. Like, we don't need to cut everybody up into these motherfucking segments, man. Cut that shit out.
You gotta respect people. Well, let's be totally frank.
But you know what, though? That's what it comes down to. Like, if you don't believe in it, that's totally fine. But you're not going to stop me from believing what I believe. You're not going to stop me from living the way that I live. So, I mean,
do you teach your kids that, though? And that's up the slippery slope.
Absolutely.
Do you teach your kids that?
That's
you
exactly,
teach your kids that shit?
I absolutely do.
That's my point. Do. And then you wonder why people sitting around here feeling like the species is in danger, because they know your kids is going to come out into the civilization with their kids, teaching them some shit that don't exist.
Hold on. Let's pause. Will and Nay, you both know my child. Okay. Do you have a concern about my child infecting anybody else?
Nah. Brianna's dope as fuck. So
I just thought that was really funny that was like I'm seeing a whole like transphobic kind of situation here, and I'm gonna let y'all know real fast that if there seems to be some sort of violence here and people don't have open minds, then I'm gonna have to leave, because I think that's real disrespectful. Like, I came here open, ready to have a conversation.
First of all, I'm always going to challenge whatever it is you're saying, especially if I'm not completely on board with it. Don't get all offended and shit. You decided you want. Hold on. See, that's not like this. This is the type of conversation we need. No, it ain't going left. I'm always in my zone. I'm cool, because a lot of the stuff I'm saying, I'm just speaking. I don't have these personal beliefs myself. I'm just asking it because ain't nobody saying the shit. Everybody just kind of saying kumbaya, da. Now we need to have a real conversation, because there's people who really feel like this. Like I said, I don't personally feel like this, but I'm going to address it. And the thing what I'm saying is, like, if you're going to have this conversation and you got somebody who's going to challenge you, don't talk about, oh, I'm just going to leave the conversation. Stand on your two. Stand on your own two and have the conversation.
Can I jump in?
Okay.
Can I jump in? I don't want to talk out of turn. All right. Here's the problem, and I'm going to talk to Hassan directly. The problem is, you sound mad aggressive.
Can anybody hear me? I have no idea whether this internet is connected.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Wait. Hold up. Because I'm just addressing.
Okay. Well, may I just really fast?
I'm gonna let you. I'm not even gonna say anything.
No, I got you. I just wanted to just make it very clear, like, the idea that I was offended. I am offended. Just because I think you can have your opinions, and that's fine. Decline it. I think it's fine that you have your opinion. That's fine, but it's about respect first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being challenged, but it's about respect first and foremost.
Okay, and I feel that, because this is what I don't want. I don't want this to turn into us going against one another, because the main purpose of us being here is to gain understanding. You know what I mean? So I respect, everybody is going to respect your opinion and respect your outlook. You know what I'm saying? So don't want nobody to feel attacked, anything like that. Now, knowing my brother, sometimes he could come off a little harsh. But like he said, this ain't his thoughts and everything like that. But I get it. I understand it. Now let's move on. Will, what you got to say, bro?
I just wanted, I still got to address it, not just on some, whatever, but this. So I have a problem with the communication. I always talk about communication, like literally my number one issue, which is why 9 times out of 10, most of the shit in the Black community can't get done properly because how we end up talking to each other. So I want to address this because what it is I don't think it was a matter of her wanting to run, bro. It was how you were saying it. If you had said it differently, it would have came across differently. Even me sitting here, I'm listening. I'm like, yo, he's being mad aggressive right now. And I don't think you realize it. And maybe it's because, we debate, we talk. But I also don't want, because from the conversations we've had before, have gotten to know you. And yeah, obviously Salah's brother and other people have been on the live. So we know that you debate. I don't want this, because this is sensitive, for people to think a certain way about what you're saying. So even me, I'm policing my tone very carefully in the words that I'm choosing. Reason why is because anybody could get offended at any second. It's a sensitive topic. So you got to approach it that way. And I feel like you, with the same energy that you would normally come with, made that escalate. So it seemed completely irrational to her. And I would feel that same way if I'm somebody in that community. I'm always feeling like I'm not heard and people invalidating how I feel. So in that moment, that's how it came across. So I'm just trying to say it like that. So that way we could just, bring everything full circle, come back, and we cool. Cause we all Black loving people. Otherwise we wouldn't even be here right now talking to each other. That was
one thing I could do all the time is have a heated discussion, heated debate, and not get offended. I just don't get offended like other people. The other thing is, if we're going to be walking on eggshells about this, we don't need to have the conversation at all then. Why you got to pick how you saying stuff? Why you got to change your tone? Why you got to decide and selectively, meticulously pick how you want to say it? Just say it, man. Like, I ain't dancing around nothing. And what I'm telling you, what I just said, I don't personally feel this way, but I'm going to challenge what's being said because ain't nobody else doing it.
And I agree with you, but we also have to go with the concept that Black people ain't a monolith. So everybody in here is going to have a different perception of communication.
But
so
I got the conversation going, didn't I? I got everybody talking now, don't I? That's what I'm talking about. I got everybody talking right now. I got somebody ready to run out the room. I got somebody ready to look up my address. I got the people talking. Let's get this conversation popping.
Yikes! Hold on. Please understand that I just don't want to be disrespected, friend, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You wasn't being disrespected. You felt disrespected. You wasn't being disrespected. You felt disrespected. And let me tell you something.
No. We're not doing that. That we're not going to do.
Facts over feelings.
You doesn't have to be heated, my friend. Let me tell you something. I can come through as aggressive as you want. That's fine. But I'm choosing not to.
Bring it on, baby. I love you too. Everyone. Bring it on. I love this shit. Come on.
Nah, that's not
because I want to preserve my energy. And I don't have it for you today. I'm not giving you my energy like that. Absolutely not.
You all talk.
Let's go to the comments. Franchise catering. If Will got to talk on eggshells, then why have the conversation? That's pretty much what Hassan just said. And I don't feel like it's an eggshell situation. It's like you just want to be respectful.
Be respectful. Thank you. That's all it is. It's not eggshells, bro. It's respectful. At the end of the day, if I wanted to approach you, let's take this into a heterosexual realm. If I saw your shorty doing something and I came to you, I would be like, yo, bro, I saw shorty and she was doing blah, 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 blah. But if I came to you with a whole different type of energy, like, yo, I told you shorty was a hoe, she doing da-da-da-da, it's going to come across different. Might be the similar message, come across different. So it's not eggshells. It's about me making sure that I'm respectful, because they could slide back and say some disrespectful shit to me that they might not even see as disrespectful, but I want that same respect. So that's it. It's not eggshells. It's just communication. Literally, they teach that shit. We learn it through the community. We know how we talk to people. We also know if we say certain things to people, just like you said, I got certain people probably trying to look up my address. That's because you giving an energy that's going to have somebody geolocate your ass. At the end of the day, that's what it is. You just it's how you gotta. It's how you communicate. It's not really eggshell. So I don't want nobody to come across with it like that. These are hard conversations. I get that, but it's
gonna get some viewers on this. So I gonna get this shit going viral in a second. Because let's go.
Franchise catering also said gender is simply to identify your genitalia. You can't just make up stuff, y'all. I kind of don't know what part of the conversation he's referring to, but hey, he said what he said. Let's matter of fact, let's talk about some of y'all experiences as LGBT members. Like, what have y'all gone through that made y'all feel disconnected from the Black community? Because what I feel like is happening is that it's so much craziness happening when it comes to violence against Black LGBTQ members that they're creating their own civilization and pretty much separating themselves from us. And that's making it easier for us to be conquered at the end of the day. So let's talk about some of the things y'all have gone through, because this is real. We're gonna get into something after y'all speak, but go ahead. Let's start with Christiana. We got you. I can't hear you. Can't hear me?
Now Christiana. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right. So luckily, violently, I haven't experienced anything, but there have been maybe small instances here or there that haven't really gotten under my skin. But there have been times I've been looked at differently in the street. There was actually one time on the train, a beggar on the train took the change out my pocket to give her change. Afterwards, held my girlfriend's hand. Once she noticed, she said, "Oh no, I don't want this from you guys."
What?
Yes.
So wait, a homeless person, or they was just asking for money?
Yep. Out of the kindness of my heart, took the money out of my pocket, gave the money, grabbed my girlfriend's hand again. She noticed and gave the money back and said she didn't want it from us.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Of course, there's been times on the bus where people think I don't understand Spanish and say a whole bunch of stuff. And I understand what you're saying. I know what you're saying. This might have been not what you grew up. I understand that. I understand the old Spanish lifestyle, because when I came out to my parents, it was easy. But when I came out to my grandfather, it was the hardest thing I had to do, because I didn't know how he was going to react.
Yeah, because, old school, whether it be Black or Hispanic, they got that macho thing going. And
so I'm like, even though one of my uncles are gay and he doesn't really come around, it's different. Like, my grandfather practically helped raise me. So it's like, even if I tell you something, I'm not really sure how you're going to respond. And I understood it took a long time for you to accept it with your own son, but now your grandchild is telling you the same thing. So it's like, I don't know how you were going to take it.
Wow. That's crazy. But I see how you can, be scared because you don't know how he's going to react. And that's somebody who raised you. So you like, I don't know. Was it like, I don't want to say fear, but like, did you did you not want to make him feel disappointed in any way, or is just like?
I guess that was the case. I just didn't want him to. I just didn't want the why questions. I think that was it. I just didn't want the why or how, because there's no explanation for that. This is how I feel. This is how I always felt. I felt this way since I was the age of 9. I've always had an attraction towards other women since I was young.
Okay.
So it's nothing I could have controlled. So I just didn't want if you did this, then no, I just didn't want to hear that. And I thought it could have been a possibility that I could have heard that.
Wow. So even with knowing the things that you might have to deal with coming out to your grandfather, you still didn't want him to feel any way about it. So it was kind of like you still cared enough for him. You didn't want him to feel disappointed or sad in any way because of something that you did.
Yeah, because I think more so, even if you was disappointed or sad, I think that would hurt me more because it'd be like I'd hurt him, but
Yeah.
I had no choice.
Wow.
It's not a choice.
True, true, true.
But other than
Teresa.
that, I'm always on high alert. So
Yeah, we see you at the airport. You be ready.
well,
Teresa,
you would.
you want to you want to speak about some of your experiences?
Went through. All right, let's talk about the experiences and let's get it. And I haven't noticed that until I got older and I really thought about it. Like I've never in America, here in America, I've never dealt with racism, but I dealt with gay bashing. I've actually dealt with that. And I'm like trying to, just distinct myself between the two because it comes from my own people, the gay bashing. I've dealt with walking home with two kids from the train and dudes wanting to talk, but I'm like, no, I'm going home to my girlfriend and getting bottles thrown at us.
Oh,
Okay? Okay. The hatred that some people have just because you don't like what they like or you don't want to do what they're doing. Me and my girl, if I get dressed up and I go out, why is it as you as a man feel like you need to challenge my girl because you're trying to holler at me while I'm with my girl? Would you do that if it was somebody else with their girl? Like if it was another man, if it was a heterosexual relationship, would you do that to somebody's? You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to any men? Any dude tried to holler at y'all wives, y'all girls while y'all standing there?
nah, it happens. It definitely happens, but it's never. I don't want to say it's because we just seen a whole video. Dude had to fight the whole block because dude wanted to holler at his girl, then punched his girl out, so he had to fight damn near everybody on the block. Um, yeah.
What?
Don't make me laugh.
Yo, it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's
only
not.
because in the video he was narrating the whole situation. He was like, "All right, here I ended up looking like this. Some shirt, the neck of his shirt was stretched out. It was a whole thing. Well, I'm gonna send you the link. It's hilarious. It's not funny that his girl got punched and he had to fight everybody.
Yo,
But he had the most New York Brooklyn accent narrating the whole thing, and made it funny. But I've been in the club with my wife when she was my girlfriend at the time, and dudes like grab her butt, like yeah. And I would be ready to turn around. She'd be like, nah, let's just keep going because I'm dolo. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, fam, you're not gonna do that. What else? It's been mad
disrespect. So it's just straight disrespect.
Yeah, I'll be with my sister, and I won't, I'm walking with my sister. I'm not thinking about nothing, and then like we get a couple of steps past a group of dudes, and then my sister, my older sister, at that Karam, whatever y'all want to call her, she be like, yo, dudes are so crazy. How he gonna talk to his man about he don't know what he doing with that? I don't, because that's my sister. Like, I don't want to know what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And they don't realize, but people are just ignorant, and it's that type of mentality.
And that's the type of vibe, but that's the type of the vibes they want given until somebody hand them their ass.
There we go. Hand them that ass.
What
I dealt with gay bashing. I've dealt with that before I dealt with racism, period. So I don't know how I'm supposed to look at my own people because we're not comfortable. We're trying to figure out where we're going to move to, but we got to make sure we ain't moving into some spaces where they accept black folks, but we don't want to get fucked up out there either in the streets.
Right. That has to be like double difficult for y'all because as black people, we got to like research where we want to move to just because we black. And then just because they might accept you as you black, they might not accept you as you gay.
And you know what's crazy?
Same thing when you vacation.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? And I don't know if it's true. I'm not in the same spaces as those people. Sometimes I am. I've seen some trans women say that the white LGBTQ people will normally choose their whiteness before their gayness.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
let's
yes,
get.
yes,
We're gonna get into that.
yes.
They will
We're
choose
gonna
that,
get,
so they'll be
we're
like,
gonna get there.
"Yo,
We're
I'm
gonna get
white.
there.
I don't know nothing about y'all." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the black folks don't even take us. They don't even respect us. Like, we gotta fight to be like, "Yo, y'all, like, we black too, but y'all ain't feeling us. Like, y'all not
There's
respecting
levels
us."
to this marginalization thing.
Right.
There's levels.
And honestly, when it was recently when I saw all the ads getting all the corporations getting on board with the Pride Month and turning the Listerine bottles to rainbow, I was like, there's something fishy about this. Not because it was y'all, but just because I'm like, I feel like if it was just black people being gay, this wouldn't be a thing. And I kind of felt like that y'all were being used to make money, just like they use us to make money as just people in general.
Right. They do that with everybody. It's the same thing they do with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They find something to capitalize on, and they are going to push it and use it to put money in their pocket. They don't care what you look like. The class system don't care. It's about what they can get in their pockets.
Exactly. Francis, though, what are some of the things that you have gone through when you finally was just like, yo, this is me?
Ha. So I've been queer for a long time. Like I had girlfriends in high school, you know. I never had a situation where I was coming out. I never had to come out, as for me it's always been a part of me. Now, did I always like I have the privilege of looking like I'm not gay, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people they look homosexual, they look queer. I don't look that way, you know? I'm somebody whose gender representation matches my genitalia, to be honest with you. So, I don't have to deal with that.
Okay.
So I never had to have a problem.
When I first met you, if you didn't say anything, I wouldn't have known. Not in my business, but it's still like, all right.
Well,
Wait,
then you
I
must
don't-
hear the "you're too pretty to be gay"
No.
thing often.
I mean,
Because I hate
well,
that.
Yo, that's
That comes out a
annoying.
lot. That
that's
comes out a
annoying. It
lot. You're
does.
too pretty to
So
be
yeah,
gay.
I
don't
had
look gay.
boyfriends, I had girlfriends, whatever, I can be high femme, like I could wear the heels and all that stuff. Like I typically don't ever move in a more I'm not masculine or center, so I don't move in masculine ways, however we want to call that. But I never had to deal with that because it just never came up. I was lucky to be in spaces where people didn't care. I mean, to be honest, to my mother, I was like, I got a girlfriend. She was like, oh, okay, you think I have girlfriends too? And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm a Latina, so my mother's Puerto Rican, my father's Dominican, and I just thought it was wild. My mother, I was like, oh, okay, good for you, I guess, But no, I didn't ever have that problem. So now I'm in a relationship with a non-binary person. It's not a problem. It doesn't make a difference. Nobody cares. Nobody seems to ask. Nobody has to ask.
True. Yeah, I was telling T about this, and even Christiana was like, yeah, a straight person made this up. At our job now, we had to take this training for that specific reason when it was like, oh, because we're supposed to scan people how they appear, right? And when they come inside the little scan machine, there's a male option and there's a woman option. So they with the LGBT community getting their rights and everything like that, we have to make sure we're not offending anybody and this, that, and the third. So when they come in, you can ask them, do you subscribe to they, their, or they pronouns and da-da-da. I was like, what? This sounds stupid. Not because it's like, yo, I have to do this for my job. It just sounded like somebody thought this is what you guys wanted in their head and was just like, yeah, let's just go with it.
Can I ask you a question? Is that
dialogue.
is that for cavity scans? Like, is that like if you have I want to know, because I'm like, what difference does it make what genitalia you got? Because I'm like, if you want to say, do you have a cooch? Go, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how you want to move, I thought it was a biological thing. Because truthfully, if your body parts don't matter, what's the difference?
Because the way we have to do our pat downs, and I'm not trying to give out no exercise. If you come through as a guy and I scan you as a woman, you're gonna alarm in your groin area. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you haven't fully transitioned and you don't say anything, and the person just like, all right, cool, this is a woman, scans as a woman, but you still got everything down there, that shows that this woman has to go up your inner thigh and check what's between there. You get what I'm saying?
Heard you. So it is about biology technically. So you want
Yeah,
to make sure, so it has a genitalia aspect.
right.
Oh, I
So we won't
got you.
get sued and nobody gets fired.
Yeah, and I think it's just
Black
more for
men
a
use that
comfort thing.
one.
Just
Say
more
that
for
again?
comfort. Like if you're,
It's
I
a
think it's
comfort
more for
thing.
comfort. Yeah. So if you're a woman or transitioning into a woman, you don't want to be felt up by another man. You
Right.
disconnected from that. That's
Heard
not
you.
how you feel. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, the way I feel is, listen, you know how simple that could be? It could be as simple as, do you prefer to be patted down by a man or a woman? Or do you prefer to be patted down? I think that's so simple, because I don't think that you have to then guess or ask anybody's personal business.
It's
Right.
simple,
That's what
but
it
it's
is.
not at the
inclusion
same
is
time.
important. That's
Is
why
it not
inclusion
simple?
is
Okay.
important. They need to hire
It's simple, but it's
people
not.
of the LGBTQ community in the office to run these type of programs. That's why representation is important, because we're out here now. They need
That's
to
a fact.
hire more of these people. It's hard. I see trans women and trans men, because we talk about trans women so much. I told you before,
But
they act
trans
like
men do
trans men is
exist.
obsolete. Yes, they
Mhm.
exist. We need to hire those people and have those. I don't have any trans women in TSA uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them
The
hiring
only
any trans men in the uniform.
that is true.
That is true. Like, for
We
instance,
need more.
I was working one day, and this trans woman came through. A guy transitioning into a woman, full done makeup, had the long poetic justice braids, a dress on and everything. Came through, leaned over and was like, yo, skin me as a man. I was like, oh, all right, because I honestly didn't know. But he was just like, scan me as a man. To avoid all, situations, scanned him as a man, came up green, okay, keep it moving, go get your bags and get out of here. That was all it was. You know what I mean? But let's move on. I was talking about y'all experiences and everything like that, because there's this video that I seen probably like 3 days ago, and it was like horrible. It was in LA, and it was a couple of transgender people. I guess they were influencers. Yeah, here go the video right here. It says we initially tried to get it back, but what's happening in this video is that they're being harassed by like a mob of dudes. Look, they trying to like open the door to get away into other people's cars. People are just driving by, and they're like legit stealing things from them and running. It's like a real sad situation, because dude he hit her, and then like tried to rob them. You know what I'm saying? After he already took one of their bags, and it's just like what is happening right here? I don't even know how it started, but it didn't even have to start from nothing. It could have just been like, yo, they just walk in the streets and they just started getting harassed, and then it just got out of hand. And it's like so heartbreaking, because it's like, bruh, nobody deserves this, no matter what. And then they made them buy their phone back. They still trying to get their stuff back. And then at one point in the video, the main guy you see right there running, he sucker punches the other girl. Like, just knocked her flat out. The police rolled by, stopped for a little bit, kept it moving. And like, shorty had to buy her phone back. Like,
all right, can we like stop watching this? I'm not trying to watch no violence against Black people, y'all. I'm good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
I see enough of that on a daily. I'm good.
Yeah, my thing. Look, grab the scooter, try to throw it at like, this is the type of thing that has me like, what in the world? And it's just so sad to see, because you see Black people doing it, and it's not to say that Black people just out here wilding on LGBT, because this white boy's doing it too. Let's not get that twisted at all. But my concern is not with them. My concern is with us. It's just like, why? Like, what? Why is this going on? People like to talk about their forefathers and all this. Forefathers on Mount Rushmore wearing white wigs. What do you think this is for real? Like, seriously, what do you think this is? Like,
what's the context of that video? Because I seen a bunch of people running, I seen people fighting, but what's like the context of the video? Like, how did it start? What happened?
he's mad she wasn't mad. I guess it looks like, yeah.
Oh, he tried to holler. He tried to holler.
Like, nah, dude, you don't want no parts of this.
He holding her hand though.
It's
I mean,
straight
like, she walked like a
bullying.
dude.
A lot of that
so-
is just straight up. You mad because you can't come out. That's what I get from dudes that do that. You're mad because you can't come out like this person. You're upset. You got to be miserable. You can't live your life. That's what it is. But it gotta be. It gotta be.
No, that ain't what it is.
That's what it is,
He felt
How he felt
violated.
violated?
Let me jump in.
He probably embarrassed because he probably thought it was a
guarantee.
woman,
So
then
you
realized it
start
was
trying to
a
fight?
dude.
No. Listen,
Yo,
that's funny.
he's
Yeah, it
immature,
is.
but
He's absolutely right. It's mad immature. It's mad immature, and I agree. But I guarantee it wasn't. It was he tried to holler. Like you said, they probably was like, "You don't want none of this," and he realized what was happening. Because we've seen there are videos that are out there where there was a video with a dude and he was grinding hard, couldn't see the face, no idea what was happening, and he was getting it in, and his homies was trying to tell him, but he wasn't listening because he's not paying attention.
Yeah,
You get upset after you done put yourself out there. Now you can't deny it. You done put yourself out there. You can't say you wasn't attracted to this person because now you put yourself out there and you caught. So your ego is bruised. If you probably one of the people who've been saying for the longest, like, I don't rock with it. That's not what I'm about. Now you find out you can't deny, and it was probably on camera.
But honestly, Will, when you think about attraction, like, it's just like when you in the club and you dancing with an actual girl, and then the lights come on and she ugly. You're like, damn, fam, you feel kind of bad. You've been dancing with her thinking you're going to get somewhere. I don't think it's that he attracted to dudes. It's just the fact that he thought in his heart that was a woman. And then
I'm not saying he's attracted to a dude at all. I'm saying he's mad that he was attracted initially and then realized it wasn't what he would normally say he's attracted to. I think that was the problem. I think he just got caught off guard. I don't think he actually likes trans women. I don't think that was his thing. I think finding out that the person he was probably about to try and talk to was a trans woman caught him completely off guard, and his ego in that moment was bruised, and he was like, nah, fuck this, I'm gonna have to embarrass them. And that's
dude run like a dude though. That he ran like a dude. How you know that ain't no? He was running like a dude. He's running like tight end.
Yeah, he got caught up in a Woo situation. And that's not to make light of it, but yeah, I just thought I was like, yo, like, it's just crazy out here because I've been seeing stuff like that since high school, and it wasn't necessarily any transgender people in my high school. But it was gay people in my high school. And there was this dude named Anthony. And he was like gay, full out, I'm gay, whatever. And it was dudes in the school that was messing with Anthony. And he would blow them up. They tried to get crazy. Like, yeah. But I will always see Anthony like fighting with girls. Like, girls will always try to fight him. And that was weird to me. It was just like, why are you trying to fight this dude? Even though he's gay, he's still a boy. And he can rock your head off. But it's just crazy. Real quick, a comment by Kenti Amenti Ma'at. He says, well, your point is moot. He didn't know he was dancing with what he thought was a woman. And when he found out the truth, he got upset. I mean,
that's what I said.
Yeah, if your man's is trying to put you on like, yo, dog, you might want to relax. Get the Henny out your veins and pay attention to what's going on.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
And maybe I missed it because I got cut off. Sorry. Like I said, my internet is bad out here. So, all right. So my man was dancing with somebody who he didn't know wasn't a woman or whatever. So now he's upset. But why is he upset? Like,
That's
and the reason why I ask is because, okay, so let's say you holler at somebody and the person turns out to be a man, right? And then it's like, you're embarrassed, and like, what's wrong with just some like, no, first of all, nobody saw, nobody can accuse, like, are you scared of being called gay? And like, is that terrible? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not gay, then you're not gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why I kind of struggle with that. Like, what's the problem?
Well, in that situation, I know he was about to get slain by his man who was trying to put him on. Like, if it's like 5 of us out and
Heard you.
my boy Ricardo is dancing with somebody who we know is a man, and we like, yo, fam, you might want to chill. And he like, nah, get out of here. Like, whatever. And we like, yo, son, I'm telling you, this is not what you want. And he find out, you know what I mean? They bench the same. He's gonna be upset and then we're not gonna let him live that down. Like, see, you was out here wilding, and he was trying to tell you. But in that particular situation, I feel like I know I wouldn't get upset. I would get embarrassed, but I'll be upset a little bit because it's like, yo, fam, you just grinding up on me too, like, and I know the vibe is there. You don't want to break the mood, and it's kind of like what Dave Chappelle was saying when he was dancing all night with this woman. Turned out it was really a mood, and then he was just like, damn it. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going whatever. I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me whatever? And then the transgender was like, because we was having a good time, I didn't want to ruin it. So it's like a 50-50 thing, but I can understand the annoyance and getting upset and feeling embarrassed because, like, I don't subscribe to that lifestyle. You dancing with me, you don't know what I subscribe to, and I understand the mood is in the air, but it's like I was grinding up.
There's an obligation. There's an obligation yeah. There's an obligation. You got if you're a transgender person, regardless of what side of that aisle you on, I don't know how that thing works, but you have an obligation for your safety and for the consideration, just regular consideration of the person. Let them know, look, I know I'm just like this, but I'm really a man. And you can whisper it because dude might be down with it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just know what you got going on and don't say nothing, because that's like, okay, you know you a man. I'm a little drunk. I don't know. Let me know.
I got you. I don't disagree with you there. I feel like there's multiple sides to this argument. I don't have that kind of problem, so I don't really have many thoughts on it. Yeah. I do understand when people are like, there's an obligation to tell people, cool, heard you, no problem. But I think my issue is, okay, so you tell somebody. So let's say you meet somebody and you ask them out, right? And that person, just disclose to keep it real, I'm a trans woman, and then you get mad puncher. You know what I'm saying? That's what my issue is. It's like, okay, if somebody kept it a buck with you, but yet you still talking about led under false pretenses. So, okay, so if I'm dressed a certain kind of way, you just had to dance with me, that's your business. Like, if I tell you afterwards and I'm like, yo, like, I'm letting you know that this is what it is, you can't be mad at me. I'm just minding my damn business here. You know what I'm saying?
That kind of goes along the same lines of when dudes try to holler at girls and they be like, nah, and then they get cursed out. Or like more recently, dude hit shorty in the face with a skateboard. It's like the thought process of these people is way off.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know nothing
this
about
comment
that.
Is wild.
Let me. Can I address that?
Hold on, go ahead, Will. You got something to say?
So no, I'm gonna address the comment because I peep.
That's wild.
First off, I think the biggest issue is that there are people who are going to do things maliciously or with an intent. Like Sydney Starr was one person who did something intentionally and maliciously. But I think those people are actually few, and the minority in the community that would do it. It's the equivalent of people who are like, black women are crazy, or black men are always beating on black women. Like, yeah, this shit happens. But the amount that actually do it are smaller than what the public would like you to think. They're not just out here like, yo, I'm gonna see if I could pull whatever. Now, jokingly, they may say it, but they're not gonna go about every day just like trying to pull. Okay, so he said, I'm not saying all the most. Okay,
That's
so
right, because I seen some dudes hop up in
You
the
can't say
inbox
I'm not
'cause they
saying
want
all or
training.
most, but then make that
Wait.
statement. You can't make that statement and then say not all or most. That's wild. That's super wild.
Words are very, very, very specific. I mean, you would be too.
I'm offended.
Like,
I am offended. You're right.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because if any of us are on social media, period.
What I'm not going to do in the comments is come for Francis. I'm not going to lie out to that.
You know what? Listen, if they're going to come, like, they're the peanut gallery.
Llisten, people won't come.
Peanut gallery going to come every time.
And you can tell them to kiss your rainbow ass, all right? Tell them to kiss your rainbow ass. That's it. Now keep it going.
Hold on. What I'm not going to do is I'm not ever going to push my values on other people. Let me tell you something. You can believe what you want to believe. That's fine. I'm not stressed. Fine. But the minute that your beliefs then hinder how somebody else moves is really a concern. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my problem. Like, the minute you want to come for somebody, that's a concern. Like, if y'all are straight, I'm not going to come for y'all for being straight. That's your business. Like, go ahead and sleep with who you want to sleep with. Like, but then let me mind my own business, you know? Like that's wild.
Let me just put this out there. It's the fact that on social media, right? A lot of people will express their views of something and they'll make that view the majority. And I'm very specific with the wording that I use. And I feel like everybody got to be specific because things get misconstrued real easily. So I never say most, I never say all. I'll say some, a few, a select few, because that's honestly what it always is. Like, no matter how many thousands of comments I might see on Twitter, and it'd be pissing me the fuck off when they be talking about black men, I know at the end of the day is just really the minority of people who believe that way, but they just are way more vocal about it. So we see the worst of everything every time we hear something. We see the worst of the gay community. We see the worst of the black community whenever something is publicized or put out there. Even this, like, we get in the worst of us in this conversation. And we way better than some of the shit that's happening.
We good. We are good, Will. We are good, Will. Stop that. We are good.
I think that's
We're having a healthy conversation.
We come to have black conversations and always feel like we have to come at each other's neck. Like, why can't we ever have regular black conversations? It always has to be let's get it heated. Let's get into a debate. No,
that's how we are. You ever seen Nigerians talk? That's how we are. You ever seen Nigerians have conversations? That's how we Nigerian. My in-laws. My in-laws.
But I mind with the words though. The words can't be rude, son.
Listen, Hassan is transcontinental.
Let's get heated, but
Hassan said he's transcontinental. He is Nigerian today.
My son is Nigerian. His grandparents are Nigerian. They'll have regular conversations, and you swear they about to take each other's head off, man. We just are passionate people. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to be aggressive. We all kind of know where we stand. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. Relax, man.
Yo, y'all.
That's why.
Get back. Nobody wants anybody to walk on eggshells. I didn't expect anybody to walk on eggshells. I came in here hoping some people would have stepped on some cracks, but it got shut down a little early because I was ready to go back and forth with the Aries dude right here in the corner with the big white teeth. But it got shut down. But it was all right. It was all right. I'm
as far
as
like the walking on eggshells, I don't think that's specific to Black LGBT. I think what that's referring to is like when anybody says anything in the media that's slightly over the line. Like, for instance, Dave Chappelle made his jokes, but they was like in truth when he had that whole scheme about, let's say the LGBT is a car and you know what I mean? This is happening, this right. And even the joke he said about dancing with the transgender all night that ended it with him getting pancakes and something else. It was like they was like, oh, Dave Chappelle is this, that, and third, and I'm like, where was he disrespectful? I feel like sometimes the LGBT community, I feel like honestly is the white people, but whatever. It's like I feel like they are just ready to be like, yo, get him out.
So don't get it twisted. You are so right. It be the white folks. It don't be us.
Definitely the white people.
Because I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. But it be the white who be trying to. I don't want to tear down any black person. Like, that ain't me. Like whether you against me or you for me, I don't care. Black liberation means all of us. Whether you transphobic or homophobic or whatever, still don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Okay, I'm going. Let me.
Okay,
let me
are we really doing this?
But why?
But
But
really
why?
doing this?
Share a husband. Share a husband.
Yo, that's
Unless he's ready to get the strap in the ass, share a husband.
T said it.
I ain't say all that, but that's hilarious.
You know,
Like does she have disrespect? Like that's disrespectful.
okay, so I want to address something real quick because I called my
that
brother
comment
about.
was totally unwarranted. That comment ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
I think I called Salah. Salah, I called you about what, like 4 or 5 days ago about this, about the text message that I got. All right, so y'all not talking about these bisexual dudes out here, and I'm gonna tell you that's a concern right there. And I know people saying like, oh, it's okay to be. I think that's probably one of the biggest issues with your community, and I just want y'all to address it. Like I'm in Atlanta, right? So to supplement, I'll do rideshare, Lyft, Uber, right? But I'm a realtor. So I got business cards in the car with me. So I give my business card out to a lot of people. And what happens is some people engage me in conversation, some people don't. I don't start no conversation. But if you do, I know how to have a conversation. Y'all can see I know how to talk, right? Anyway, so the other day, about a week or two ago, this young cat, I'm taking him to work. It's early in the morning. He engages me in a conversation. He seems super, just like a regular dude. So we talking about a 20-minute ride. Cool. So he's like, yo, man, we talking about women. We talking about just life, period. He didn't realize I was 41. He like, oh, man, I didn't know you was that old. I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, yo, you mad cool, man. Yo, man, you think you be able to like take me to work like another day, man? Because I don't like switching up rides. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I said, if I can, I can. If I don't, I said, but here's my business card, because I like my business card to just circulate. You know what I'm saying? If somebody get my realtor business card, I'm cool with that. Anyway, so I'm going to read the text message that I got. And then I want to hear y'all tell me. This is kind of why straight brothers be on some shit with y'all sometimes, because shit went left with this dude. All right, so his name was Mike. Now, when I picked him up, it was a chick's name. He was like, that was his cousin. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, he goes, after I dropped him off, because remember, I gave him my business card. He goes, hey, this is Mike, my guy. Hey, I appreciate you this morning, big dog. For real, I'm be reaching out. Gave him the thumbs up. And then the next day, hey, what's good, bruh? You think you could pick me up and drop me off at work in the morning? I thought that was weird how he phrased it. So I just hit him with, hey, what's going on, brother? I only provide rides on the app. I don't do cash rides. So I'm thinking I'm dead in it because I don't do cash rides. I did it one time for this old couple, and then they paid me with a check, and I thought that was the problem. So I didn't do it no more. Well, I mean, the check cleared, you know what I'm saying? But you know,
you had the slider with you?
No, I don't have the slide. I don't do nothing out on the app because you know you want to do stuff on the app just to keep track of these motherfuckers because these motherfuckers get weird. But anyway, so I told him I don't do cash rides. That was it. That was on the 27th of July. On August 2nd, he sent me another message. Hey, bruh, 2 question marks and the eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? I ignore the shit. August 13th, he goes, I should have sucked that dick when I had the chance, bro. I saw how hard it was getting during that ride that morning. Now, what the fuck?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Right. Now he knows how we feel.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I got a question. All right, you're listening.
Go ahead.
Listening.
Yeah, listen.
Was your dick hard?
No, hell fucking no. Hell fucking no, nigga. Hell no, nigga.
Oh, shit.
Hell fucking no. You know what I'm saying? It was just so out of left field. And I'm not giving this an excuse for us straight dudes to how we feel around gay dudes. Like, I don't feel no way about them, but at the same time, it's like we do get a little leery when dudes be kind of a little too friendly because you get shit like this. Now, this dude seemed like a regular ass motherfucker. The shit we was talking about ain't had nothing to do with nothing weird. And this is what he sent me. And like, I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to backtrack the ride a little bit, trying to see where this motherfucker was, because you can for a little while on the app if you want to like re-rate them. So I went in there trying to remember where the fuck I picked them up from. I knew where I dropped them off at because it was like this little Walmart distribution center, but I forgot where I picked them up at. So I can't run up on the Walmart and there's a million people out there. Now I found out where the fuck he lived. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And my nigga,
You sound like an angry lesbian. You sound like a lesbian after a dude offer her dick.
So this is
like a lesbian when a dude offer her some dick.
So check
into that.
No, but this is what I told Salah. This is what I told Salah. I said, Salah, you know what? Now I kind of understand how women feel when dudes be running up on them and they be like, yo, curbing them, and then motherfuckers get crazy. It's like, what gave you the impression that I was on that team?
Get violent, though.
Right, exactly. But
and then they get violent while something like, come on.
So I definitely. So you know what's funny? Like, but so I think that's wild. Like, I don't think he needed to come on you if you never told him that you was interested in any way. You know what I'm saying? You never gave him any impression that you was interested. No. You never gave him any impression.
No, I'm not gay. So, I'm not gay.
You know, funny though. That's honestly.
It's the gray sweatpants.
It's 2020. Shoot your shot.
So that. But you know what though? No, so it's funny. Like, I'm seeing these comments. These comments are wild. Like, well, this is what women go through, so just take it. Absolutely not. Nobody should be getting harassed like this. Nobody. Nobody should get this unwanted attention like that. Hell no. That shit is sexual harassment, regardless of your gender, bro. Like, he shouldn't have came at you no kind of way. The least he could have said was, "Excuse me, are you interested?"
Right. But see, that's the thing. Like,
he shouldn't have come at you no kind of way.
Now in Atlanta,
that's wild.
That's why I say, I think, because I knew a chick who actually dated a bisexual dude, and we used to clown on her because this gay chick that I used to work at FedEx. It was this lesbian chick, this straight chick. I'm there. And we used to have conversations, and she was like, she met this dude, and the gay chick was like, "Do that nigga drink peach soda?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Tanika, why you asking?" She's like, "If that nigga drink peach soda, her son, he gay." And I said, "What? Peach soda?" And she was like, "Yes, probably." So she asked Renee, she's like, "Renee, do he drink peach soda?" She's like, "Yeah, I think he drink peach soda." So fast forward like a month, she telling me she talking to the dude, and then the dude came out there and said, "Hey, I'll be honest with you, I'm bisexual." So the lesbian chick knew just on the strength he drank peach soda that he was gay, but the girl Renee, she still kind of like fucked with him. And then she called me, "Hassan, let me tell you what happened, blah, blah, blah." She was like, he broke up with me. I said, "Why he break up?" She's like, he said something like, I didn't have what he was looking for. I said, "No shit, Renee, you ain't got a dick. Like, that's what he want." Like, so that you know what I'm saying? So in Atlanta, that bisexual shit is scary. So we ain't speak about that shit. I'm hearing y'all talk about transphobia. Y'all talk about lesbian. Y'all ain't talk about them brothers that be on the down low acting real suspicious. What's up with that?
So, I mean, that's a fact. Here's how I feel. Like, you need to be respectful of the person you're trying to approach. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not getting any sort of vibe, just like if I was just straight and there was somebody who I wanted to talk to, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, all right, so what's good with that dick?" Like, I wouldn't say something wild like that. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? I would keep it respectful. I would say, "Excuse me, are you interested? If you're not interested, then you're not interested." Like, that's wild.
I did talk about bisexual men, women, trans women, and trans men. Now, there are bisexual women out there that's on the DL. They not telling their husbands what they really want. Yes. What women? There's bisexual women on the DL, definitely, with whole husbands, kids, and families sneaking off with their homegirl. Definitely unhappy in the relationship. Definitely sitting there ruining whatever the person they with. They just can't be themselves because they scared to tell. Still living to this day. I think I was working with one. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't know if she's still there. But homegirl was definitely an AG.
Christiana sound like she got experience talking about it only come out when they drinking.
That's an excuse when they use. "Oh, I had something to drink. I'm only gay when I'm drunk." No, because you know what? Because men don't take that serious. The only time they take it serious and call it
gay as if it's a man doing it. He can't be bisexual. He can only be gay, and women can be bisexual. No, there can be bisexual men. And he was wrong for trying to get your cookies through the text message. That was that wrong. He was wrong for that. I felt so bad. I'm sorry. He knew he was wrong. He knew that was the last time he was going to see you. That's why he said that, and see if you was going to try to give it back. He was wrong. But that's what dudes do. They do it to women too. So you're gonna get that same. Girls, they kinda, especially the ones that's on the DL, the girls definitely, they start spilling their story, how much they unhappy. They just doing this, they doing that. I had a girl really sneaking trying to get to me because she wasn't getting what she needed from the dude.
Yo, T, your stories that you used to tell me, and this like the chicks we work with, that be like, yo, I was like,
yo,
what?
When I say girls would play with me in a certain way that y'all, if they was playing with dudes, y'all probably would have had them in the hotel already. The girls, I had one of my men, Ty, he already laughed at me in the comments somewhere. I had him actually literally because I knew I wasn't bugging. Like, look at them, look what she doing. Look what I'm doing. Look what she want me to do. Look how she playing with me. Just because I'm gay, I'm not your test run. So you're not gonna sit here and throw that Uchi at me because you want to try it. You're bi-curious, or you just need something to substitute or not dealing with what you're not happy with at home. I don't want to play cootie cat bumping with y'all.
Cootie cat what?
Cootie cat bumping.
They know what I'm talking about. Because that's what they think they're gonna do. That's what they think they're gonna do.
They call it tripping on Pornhub.
Yeah, that's what they think. That's what they think they're gonna do over here until they run up on me and they get real hard strapped and they be like, "Oh my god."
Were you actually attracted?
To these couple
so
of girls.
So you should have took it down.
No, I shouldn't have. No, I shouldn't have. I wasn't playing with them bitches like that. Excuse me.
What catches you should have let her eat, mama? That's
nobody wants to be anybody's experiment.
No, not even experiment. It was like, first of all, we working together. Second of all, y'all playing. When I say playing, ass smacking at work.
Right on the
talking nasty. They know who they was.
Hashtag gang. He's wilding.
Everybody want to play around until it's time to get down to the D.
Till it's time to get down, and I pull out that when I pull out that damn strap, they like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yo, so real quick, but what you were saying about like bisexual dudes and everything like that kind of plays into like why some of these people be out here getting hurt, because they be bisexual and on the down low, and they haven't got to that point to where, you know, they can fully come out like that. So it's like still an insecurity of this. So, and you know how people are with their insecurities. If you highlight it, then they're gonna get upset, and some people just like go crazy with it. Like,
I don't know if it's an insecurity; it's just a fear.
Well, a fear, and I mean,
it's more I don't feel like they're insecure with themselves. It's just for their safety. That's what it is. They're more scared for their safety.
Yeah,
that's valid. Because if that shit wouldn't have been on no text and he would have did that in the car, that nigga would have been in the problem. It would have been a real problem, because I'm not a violent person. And I was telling Salah, I said, even straight dudes, we got to be careful how we deal with it, because I would have had to frame that shit differently. Because if I would have said I violated the nigga because, excuse my language, if I violated him because, you know, he came at me wrong on some sexual shit, they could charge me with a hate crime. So I can't even really explain myself in that context. I got to switch it up and be like, yo, he touched me and I felt like my life was in danger. That's the shit I got to be on. That's why he got violated the way he got violated. I can't say, oh, nigga was showing like he was attracted to me, because then they'll be like, well, sir, that's a hate crime. And then I'm dealing with some serious charges.
Well, that's the other thing I want to talk about, is one of them. Do y'all think that it's a fair thing? Because like when we get attacked and we get into fights with somebody that's just a different race than us, it's not considered a hate crime. But if I get into a fight with a gay dude whether he was disrespectful or whether it was like a whole situation, is considered a hate crime. And honestly, the word hate crime is the term hate crime is kind of weird for me because it's like, aren't all crimes committed on some type of hate on some level? But whatever. Do y'all think that's a fair thing?
I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like there are certain aspects of it that are hate crime. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what my biggest issue is, and this is in a lot of instances. I have an issue with the improper use of isms and phobias.
Yeah.
Not everything is a phobia, but do people do things hateful? Like that video, like, okay, like the video you played, that escalated into a hate crime, bro. Yeah. Like in the beginning, it was all right, you felt the type of way, so you might be mouthing off. But when you start snatching shit and throwing shit and physically harming people, now you done took it to another level. And that yes, the hate crime shit does exist, but I feel like some people throw everything in as phobic or a hate crime. Not everything is, but there are obvious examples that nobody should ever be able to deny that are hate crime examples. Like that shit, that was that to me, like, and they dumb as hell because they on video. Now all they got to do is give this to the authorities, and y'all dumbasses are gonna get charged with a hate crime, like obviously charged with a hate crime. But yeah, there are definitely instances where there are hate crimes.
I whoop you because I love you. Just claim you did it out of love, brother. Oh my God.
Yo, they funny as shit in the comments. I like this one better than Zoom because the comments is lit.
Yeah. Kenzie.
I was gonna ask Will got an S curl? What's going on?
Man, you ain't know. I'm out here in these streets.
I'm like, this motherfucker here look mad silky over here. What the hell going on?
All right, let's go back for a second to the comments. Kenzie Amensi Ma'at says the issue is only on men. Men are the problem. Women are innocent. I guess this is talking about the bisexual conversations. That women can't be on the DL. It's the man's fault. Okay, I see what he's saying. I guess in terms of, every time something happens with DL, whatever, it's always the man's fault or whatever. But I guess that's because men are the only ones that's getting outed like that.
No, men make it bad for other men. Men are laughing at other men. Men are really the ones, you a sissy, you a punk, you a this. They don't say nothing about the women that's running around out here with whole families that's out here trying to play around.
I want to wait, Hassan, before you even say anything, let me just jump in and touch on that. I think it's also dating back. Like if we go back in the time, the DL thing is a stigma that stemmed from HIV and then that being passed around in communities. Yeah. So I feel like that's why it's seen as worse when it comes to men and why it's such a big stigma for men in terms of bisexuality before women. Like when you think, if you think about STD, and most women who do not like bisexual men, they complain about them bringing something to them and putting them physically in danger. So it's more of what they are contracting disease-wise, and they feel like they're going to get something. I feel like that's the problem. And if you think about it, you never hear that conversation when it comes to women. So that's the primary issue with the bisexuality and DL men. I feel it's a sexually transmitted disease thing.
That's where I was going, Will, because I dated a medical professional and she told me, she's like, even though men and women could get STDs, it's a lot easier for women to get STDs than men. And she explained to me at the time how it affects. So yes, the responsibility has to be on men to be more cautious about how we do it, because we quick to try to go raw. You know what I'm saying? And we can get that shit to a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? And if you double dipping your shit in different areas, it's a wrap. Like you gonna get this girl something, she gonna give it to somebody. Like that's why it is more of a stigma on men being bisexual, because y'all carrying and y'all can give it to women a lot easier than women can give it to each other.
And nobody likes backwash, right?
That was oh my God.
Let me have a sip of your soda. What's that floating in that peach soda? I don't want none of that.
Yo.
What is a gay STD?
A gay STD.
I'm looking at these comments. What is a gay STD?
Real talk. People used to call AIDS and HIV the gay STD.
Well, yeah, I remember when it first came out because
when it first came out, but
homosexual men. There's no such thing as a gay. It's just an STD.
STDs aren't human.
Man, if you out there eating ass, it don't matter who ass it is, man. You gonna get something, my nigga. Chill out.
Like, why are certain actions considered gay and others not? Like, all right, for men, this whole eating a hot dog thing is such a big deal.
Like peach sodas, like peach sodas.
That or licking an ice cream cone. That's
nah,
gay.
You gotta bite it, bro.
That's gay. But to smack a grown ass man on his ass while playing sports, that's not gay.
That's sportsmanship.
With other grown ass men in the shower, that's not gay. Gay men shower together, do they not?
I ain't never showered around no man.
Honestly though, the food thing is new. The food thing is new. It's more recently dudes are like, yo, I ain't eating no bananas, hot dogs, ices, ice cream cones. No.
That's not new. Well, that is definitely not new. The banana thing is definitely not new. The banana thing been around for a minute.
Violent. So I chew my ice cream cones. Bruh,
I'm gonna be real with you. Let me. And if you still got the recording, y'all are gonna go back and be able to see this. Hold on. In the last show we was on, Hassan was eating a banana, bro, and I paid attention. I was like, he better break that bitch up, and he better not fucking eat that thing without breaking it into pieces. And I watched. I was like, and sure enough, he was like, snap.
Yo, Will, stop! Don't watch me eat no fucking bananas, Will. I feel uncomfortable right now, man. God
All right, nah, but yeah, that's crazy. The whole food thing is kind of weird. All right, because we got sidetracked, and this is definitely on the next episode. We got doing a part 2 of this conversation because we didn't even get into the things that we wanted to get into. So my question is, T had this question, and it was a question that had me like, you know what? That's something to think about. She said, how old were you when you knew you were straight?
Rudy Huxtable, my nigga. Rudy Huxtable, for real. It was like 80. When the Cosby Show came on, it was Rudy Huxtable. It was Penny, not from Good Towns. You're going to think I'm weird. Penny from Inspector Gadget. The cartoon Penny, like I had a crush on. Relax. It's my childhood. Let me have my childhood.
Gadget's in trouble.
Yeah. So it was Rudy Huxtable, Penny from Inspector Gadget, and there was this black girl on the Children's Day Society commercial. I don't know if y'all know what that is. I really got they made the Children's Day Society. It was a black girl on that in that commercial too. So it was those 3 girls I knew. I was like, okay, they making me feel a certain way.
I've known because I was humping since I was 5, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. If I told y'all stories, and my mom probably whooped my ass if I told these stories, but if I told y'all stories, I know since I was 5, so I was super little.
The girl classmates, respectfully.
So do y'all think? At 5 or at Rudy Huxtable age, do you think young boys could know that they're gay at that age? Or young girls
could probably know what they're attracted to. I definitely knew what I was attracted to. So
I feel like they know
exactly.
what they're
I was just asking.
But I don't. It's like us as being straight and like just realizing you thought a girl was cute or whatever. You don't know what to do with those feelings. And nobody explained it to us either. Nobody was just like, and matter of fact, we thought girls had the cooties to like 10 or 12. So it was just like, ew, I don't like her. Oh, all right, whatever. It wasn't like, ew, I don't like her, I like him. It said, bro, Penny was built like I can see if you said Carmen Sandiego. What are you talking about?
She wasn't even in puberty yet. Of course, she had a block body. Like her name was Penny, bro. She had
the fucking cartoon.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, nobody told us what to do with those feelings. Now, when it comes to that, it's like I feel because now this is where for me it gets a little dicey because they talking about teaching that in school as far as where it comes from and you know everything like that LGBTQ studies and all of that in school and elementary schools and stuff like that. Now I can see if a child is struggling with that with those feelings, but I feel like they're going to do it irresponsibly. You can't teach people, you can't teach these kids about their sexuality, but you don't have sex education in school. You get what I'm
Are they
saying?
teaching sexuality? Are they teaching
No, they're teaching history.
LGBTQ rights and fight and
It's
history?
history.
They're not teaching sexuality. That's the first thing they think about when you say LGBTQ. They think about sexuality right
Nah,
away.
of course,
A
because
lot of
I
people.
know for a fact. First of all, I don't trust this school system to teach us anything properly. So
Period. Period.
exactly. So you know, and this is not just because it's LGBT. I know they're gonna go in there and be like, okay, this is the history and da da da, and they're gonna have questions. These little kids have questions, whether they gay or straight. They got questions that have some adults like, bruh, I don't know what to say. Or I had teachers that used to keep it real with me, and some of them kept it too real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just weird. It's like you're gonna teach and then it's like you're gonna teach that history, but you're not gonna teach the real history of where these black kids come from. You get what I'm saying? Like, how we doing that? I feel like with the children, it's on the parents to teach them everything as far as their sexuality is concerned, as far as who they like and who they don't like, and these feelings that they have. It can be difficult because your parents might not be with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how many people I spoke to the other day at work that never had the birds and the bees conversations with their parents? I don't remember having that conversation with none of my parents. So I know for it to be gay and be talking about LGBT, I know they're not going to have that conversation with their children. But it's just a weird thing for me because, case in point, my homegirl I used to work with at Walgreens. She had her daughter. Her daughter was 9. She said her daughter came to her crying, was like, "Ma, I gotta tell you something." She's like, "Yo, what's wrong? What's the matter with you?" She was like, I just wanted to tell you that I like girls." And she was just like, "Okay." She was like, "You not mad at me?" She was like, "Nah, I'm not mad at you, but this is what I want you to do for me." She was like, "What?" She was like, "I just want you to focus on getting good grades in school, growing up, and if you have those feelings, that's fine. But I just want you to focus on you as a person first, and then we could talk about that later." Because she was like, I really didn't know what to say to her, but she's like, "I'm going to love you regardless of what you choose. But right now, you're only like 8 or 9 years old. If you're having these feelings, that's cool and that's fine with me. But just get out of school. Focus on growing up and becoming an adult and coming out of school first." I'm like, okay, I can see where it can be like she needed to drop more jewels on her, but I also can see where it's like, yo, I don't know what to say to you, and I'm going to love you as my child regardless. So I just want you to focus on being a kid. That's it. Now, how do y'all feel about that? Because there's a lot that's happening.
She came home at 9 and told her mom she came out the closet at 9. She realized that
Yeah. She told it
man,
to her, and then she was crying because she was like, I don't want you to be mad at me. I thought you was going to be mad.
that's a few years ago.
She was like, nah, I'm not mad. This is probably like 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say. That's great that she support her child and she ain't kick her out and put her in the street like some of the other people did.
Nah,
They
that's a fact.
kids. I know a lot of people that's dead and gone now because they had to live off the street, strung out, probably got some disease, was living in one of them houses, living on a pier out here in New York, had nowhere to go, getting put out when they were young. At least she didn't get put out. We lost a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front because I spoke to you about it, and I speak to a couple of my LGBT friends about the show Pose. And granted, it's like it's supposed to be filmed like the 80s, right? The early 80s,
80s, no, the late 80s, early 90s.
early 90s, and how they used to have the transgender people like on the streets. You know what I'm saying? They got kicked out. Dude got kicked out of his house like first episode and was like just dancing on the pier in Central Park and like trying to get money. And then some of them was a transgender, but she was hooking. You know what I'm saying? And then there was
They
one
living.
that was a transgender, but she was messing with this white dude that was paying all her bills and all of that, and got the operation, and then dude kicked her out. It's weird, but it's a good show. But it was like I would ask, I'm like, yo, is that a real thing? And they was like, yeah, because it was one episode with the transgender woman came into the gay bar and got kicked out the gay bar. And I was like, that's when it first hit me, like, wait, that really happens? And it was just like, yeah. And it's just like, it hit me that some of these things are going on within their communities and our community. So like, I just want to open up this dialogue so we can actually just, for one, just get on one accord, because right now ain't the time for this. You know what I'm saying? Especially if me and you don't sleep together. I have nothing to do with what you do in your own bedroom, your own crib, whatever. It's like right now we are being murdered on every level, on a hood level, on just, worldly. The police don't care. We getting gunned down by police. Dude just got shot in his back 7 times after breaking up a fight. How crazy is that? You know what I'm saying? So now on top of that, we walk in screaming Black Lives Matter, and it's the other question somebody had. We walk around screaming Black Lives Matter and marching and marching and marching, but then after that, when you gay, does your life still matter in the Black community? Because I'm not gonna lie, if I was gay, I would feel away if I'm marching for my people, and then my people telling me that I'm not Black, I'm gay, and it's like what?
I'm just saying. I mean, who's saying that though? Like, it was gay people in the civil rights movement, but everybody got on one accord based on what was prioritized at that moment. That was rights for all Black people. James Baldwin, from what I know, was a homosexual, right? But he wasn't fighting homosexual rights. He was fighting for the rights of Black people in general. So you got to prioritize what you're going to fight if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about, oh, you're gay, so you're not Black. I don't know anybody saying that.
No, there was a female on TikTok.
It's a lot of them saying that. A lot.
The video was going viral, and she was saying she can support Black Lives Matter, but doesn't have to support the LGBTQ plus community. And her reasoning for that was, I can respect you as a person, but I don't have to like your sexuality. You are born Black, but you are not born gay, which is false.
I don't know about that being true. I mean, I don't know if you're born gay or born straight. You know what I mean? You're born how you're born. But, when it comes to what fight's going to be fought, I think gay people got a legitimate lobby group, that fights on their behalf. I think they got people that fight for them. I think, probably up until, maybe a few years ago, like, gay people, and Black people had to get some more representation, you know what I'm saying? But gay people, you say some shit about some gay people, your ass is gone in the entertainment industry. They don't allow that. But now it's like Roseanne says some shit about Black people, got her ass out. Now we getting a little bit more balance in it all. But I don't think you got to separate the two. I think you can have both fights happen, but I'll be honest with you, gay people got people fighting for them.
But Black gay people don't have.
Yeah, that's
people fighting for them.
Don't separate. That's because you're separating yourself. Don't separate yourself.
You can't say we can't separate it, but it is separated.
Who separated it?
Listen.
Okay. Well, I guess it's
yeah, because
I was gonna say I guess it's more like this, right? You ever look at the feminist movement?
Yeah.
When I look at the feminist movement, I don't see, even though Black women be helping and be a part of it, I don't see it as a movement for Black women. I see it as a movement that white women co-opted, took over, and then made about them, and they only use Black women when it benefits them, not really caring about Black women's issues. So when I think of it in the community as the gay community, I look at it as the same way. There's a white gay community, there's a Black gay community. There are gay rights and issues that they feel they need to cover, and so they fight for them. But the ones that are specific to Black people largely get ignored. So that's why they usually segment and separate them. I look at it, I try and draw parallels because that's how I've seen it. Because if you in New York and you dance at all, gay people, bi, whatever in the community. Like, and if you're around it, you start to notice various differences when you go to certain places where they might be at in order, you know, you might support a friend or whatever the case may be. And you're looking at how they get treated in certain issues and certain circumstances. Like there's definitely a segregation of that community based on skin color. And I don't even have to be in that community to see it. The shit's there. So that community, when they say gay, it's really just them talking about white gay people and what the benefits they bring, not gay people of color most of the time.
Yeah, because black gay people don't really get the same rights as white gay people. Like, and that's said about tons of black LGBT members. They like, yo, those rights don't really. We can do it, but it's like it don't really apply to us. And just like T said earlier, she was like, white gay people will be like, yo, I'm white. They will side with their whiteness over the whole group of being gay because black people are in it, and that's just a fact. Go to the comments real quick. My aunt said that is correct. LGBT people do have representation. That's why black LGBT folk can't be trusted because their sexuality matters more than their blackness. I can see why he said that. And I can see
okay, but Francis was just on here talking about how that's not the case.
Yeah.
You have people who are queer telling you that that's not the case for them. So how are us non-queer people coming and saying that it matters more to them? That's like somebody coming to me and being like, oh, you being a woman matters more to you than being black. No, me being black matters. You can't tell me what matters more to me.
Yeah, I feel like
they don't. But see, that's kind of why I brought my cousin in that quick little moment just to kind of make a point. Like even within the group of gay people, they all don't agree on everything either. How they look at things. So I don't think Francis could speak for every gay person. So because of that very fact, I think I have every right to speak about what they got going on based on my perception of what they got going on. When it comes to the black movement and the gay black movement, if that's the thing, you do, I guess based on what Will said, we gonna have to prioritize what you gonna fight, because you telling me that gay black people don't have representation. You saying that's white people's representation. So if we're gonna fight for black rights, I think black rights are gonna also encompass the rights of black gay people. I don't think fighting for gay black rights are gonna encompass the whole of black people, because the straight black people ain't gonna get the rights that the gay black people got, but the black people as a whole gonna benefit from whatever rights black people as a whole gonna get, whether you gay, straight, non-binary, or whatever it is.
That is true.
That's the thing. As everyone said, I for a little bit, but the we already know that the representation for the LGBT that's not for us. That is not the only reason why we benefit from it, because we identify as that representation is not for us. And the fact that with the whole we gotta choose between being black and being gay is like, you guys, not you specifically, but want us to pick between, okay, this one is my own people who beat me up, curse me out, gay bash me, and these people, these white folks, show racism towards me, does this towards me, and does that. You want gay people to pick their oppressors. It's like, how do you do that? How do you ask which bully do you want to have in power for you? Which bully? The white man or the black man? They both fucking you up. Which one do you want?
So it's pretty much like election.
It hurt more because it's coming from people. I'm black. Just like everybody else on this screen I'm looking at, I'm black. But the fact that I would get ostracized because of my sexuality is like, and then these people over here accept me low key. They still got that, she's still a. So who do I pick? Who are you asking them to pick?
So let me ask you this: why is it so difficult now than it was? Well, it's not difficult
like that though. Not just now. It's been difficult.
No, what I'm saying is, why was we able to push forward legislation in the favor of all of our people in the 60s during the civil rights movement, and we find it so difficult now to also come together and push legislation?
We were more quiet and oppressed then. What you had going on, you had to keep that a secret. Luther had to die gay in the closet. Whitney had to die gay in the closet.
She didn't have to.
Now we got people. Now we got people coming out on Front Street, and now it's gay shit. We've been here, but they dying gay in the closet. Why can't we be happy and y'all take us and we out here marching Black Lives Matter until we get busted in the head by another black man because we gay?
Well, I mean, that part is foul. I don't like when people just commit violence on people for any reason for that. But you take Queen Latifah for a moment. She's gay. She doesn't talk about it. She don't wear it on her sleeve. She don't wear it on her sleeve. She don't wear it on her sleeve. And she's somebody who's represented black people and black women since the inception of her career. And she's been able to, and she never had to jump on the LBTG, whatever I forget what it's called, bandwagon at all. She just said, yo, I'm black, I'm a woman, I represent black people in womanhood. She never had to dice herself up. I've never seen her trying to separate herself from her community.
You never seen the brat say nothing, and I swear to God, if the brat did, because we need to show. If we need to show some of the, for me, and let's get for me, I'm gonna talk about for me. And I heard other stories, but for me, if the brat would have came out when I was young, like how I needed her to come out, I would have been able to identify myself when I was young, and I probably wouldn't end up having kids already. I wouldn't have ended up in situations, in DV situations with dudes I knew I ain't had no business with.
But
I also feel like for people in the industry, I feel like that's a commercial, and this is a white marketing. That's a commercialized concept that is pushed because they feel like that's what's marketable. Back then, they wouldn't have. Look, I guarantee right now, it's something they would probably be able to feel like they could push and get money off of. But it's the same way they say, you know, black people's films, certain films don't sell overseas or don't sell here, do whatever. So they weren't even trying to allow somebody to do something like that. And even though she was under JD, still all of the platforms he used to promote and put acts out there were white-owned platforms at the end of the day. And I feel you on that representation aspect, because it would have made it, anybody who comes out and does something that is more akin to what it is that your lifestyle represents, it makes it easier for you to live that life out in the open and not feel the type of way. I feel like she also wanted to do that. They made her do a fucking video with Tyrese talking about what do you like, and that whole video was oozing heterosexuality.
Uncomfortable.
Knowing damn well, ever since we saw her, nobody thought the brat was heterosexual. Nobody thought the brat was.
As a Brat fan, like I bought Brat albums when I was a kid. When I saw that, I was like, "Yo, this is weird. This ain't
uncomfortable."
And this wasn't me on some.
It reminded you of I'm delivered now. I'm delivered. I ain't gay no more. That's what it reminded me of. I'm delivered.
But
Raven Simone trying to be the brat. I knew she was. Come on.
We've been knew the brat was gay. The thing about it with the brat, though, people probably never thought about it because look at how TLC used to dress.
Nah.
And nobody was really, you know. But no.
It's an energy because
it's definitely an energy. But it's like when the brat came out, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think about it, but I never would have thought that she would have talked about, oh, I got what you like, a whole lot.
All the gay girls that knew. They knew Pam from Total.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo,
they knew the brat. You get what I'm saying? But yes, Pam from Total was the shit.
Absolutely.
Yo. But anyway, we weren't able to be out like that. We were not able to be as vocal like that. We weren't.
To your point, T, I don't know if anybody remembers this song. First of all, I thought this girl was gonna go mad far because she could sing and she could dance. Her name was Tiara B or Tara B, one of them two. And she sung this song called Rush. You giving me a rush every time that you come. You're making me. Yep. And they had her like with just like Ciara or whatever with the big pants, the belly top, and the long flowing hair and everything. She was singing to a boy, I looked her up probably like last year, like, yo, that was my joint. Let me see what she doing. Full on AG. And she spoke about it and was like, yo, at the time.
What does AG stand for? Like, I keep hearing this shit.
Aggressive girl.
Aggressive.
Oh God! Oh, come on, man.
Look, that's the.
It's a way of. Okay. Listen. Let me even throw this out there.
Real quick. In the next episode, I need you to put a legend right here in the comment section of all the acronyms, so we can follow this shit like a map. Like, cause I can't keep up with this shit.
But go ahead. Tell AG's literally by looking at, you can literally look most of the time and tell who an AG is most of the time. Like, it's not difficult. It literally describes them, even in behavior. Like, it describes them. Like, AG, a aggressive girl. Like, you gonna know because she gonna move like you, bruh. Like, literally move like you.
She gonna be running like that trans in that video.
Oh wow, you're wilding. Wow.
See, I was talking about how her behavior and how her mannerism. That's what I was talking about.
You can't tell.
So like with the video, she spoke about it. She was like, "Yo, when I came out, I liked girls. I've been like girls. It was just that the label was out. She like, I was ready to like do what I wanted to do, but the label was like, nah, we need you to do it this way and da da da. And as a new artist, you don't got no say so.
Exactly. It's a business
That was
move.
like that girl who sang "God sent me an angel from a heaven
Oh,
above." She a whole AG.
yeah.
Never even seen her face. I was like,
Right.
"That's an AG girl." Damn, I knew why they ain't show her.
Hold on, let's the Brad.
There's like one picture of her though with like braids and like some white
Right.
like sweat outfit.
We're gonna go to the comments real quick. Kenty Amenti, he's been vocal here. He said some of y'all remind me of Lee Daniels, who will undermine racism as long as black people aren't accepting of their lifestyle. What?
I don't know, bro. People be talking like
We
that
can
all the
stop
time.
reading these
Imagine
comments. They
that
don't make any
by
sense. Like,
100,000.
what are these
Imagine
people talking
people
about?
like that by 100,000. But y'all want people to be out there like Black Lives Matter after you done condemned my whole lifestyle. Like,
I don't even.
you might put a law in place where I won't be able to marry my girl, and I've been with my girl too long. Like, I don't think I want you in office, sir. Like,
Yeah, that was a weird comment in itself because I honestly don't understand what the hell you're talking about because I don't listen to Lee Daniels. So I don't
even
know.
who Lee Dan? Who's that?
Lee Daniels, the dude who created Empire. He's the same one.
He's important.
The same one
okay.
who crapped on Monique when she needed his help. Oh yeah, he was one of them. But anyway, yeah, that was just stupid. Well, whatever. So it's past 8:00. You know what I'm saying? We a little bit over, but we're gonna get up out of here. Next episode, we are going to be talking about the same thing because we didn't really get to the meat of the problems. We got some more questions that need to be answered. Pause, right? And you can see my son in the corner jumping around. That means it's
That's
time.
how you know it's over. That's how you know it's over. JJ in the corner.
Over. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming out. You know what I mean? T, we're gonna see you in the next one. Christiana, we're gonna see you in the next one. Hopefully we get Francis back in here. But yeah, I love you. Peace.
JJ Marquise.